brain candy.
Woo! I'm so excited for this episode. I don't know why.
Oh,
I'm in a very cheery mood today.
Gosh, is it the overalls?
It must be. You got me these.
Yeah.
And then, do you remember how... No, you don't. Maybe you don't remember that. But so when you got me all the stuff, they were so cute and everything. And then the place where you got my overalls was having a 30% off everything sale. So I took my stuff to them, got them to give me. Yes, I did.
You didn't.
I ended up getting a $50 gift card with the difference of the sale stuff. So yeah, and I was like, Susie would want me to do this. Susie wants me to do this. So I ended up going back there and I posted that thing from the REI class of how like these are the safety items you needed.
Yeah.
And then the one thing I was missing was this like UV protection shirt. And I took the gift card just yesterday and got myself a UV protection shirt. So thanks, Susie. You got me all geared up. And these overalls, thanks to them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How
it was
did you
$54.
How did you demonstrate to the... By the way, this is episode 825. How did you demonstrate to the cashier or sales rep that like you had bought them or received them within like the window? Because remember, I offered to send you the receipts, and you're like, no, they fit. No. It's fine.
Because they're great. Duluth Trading just like is one of those companies that are like, we will take, and they have they offer a year warranty on all their clothes. Like if anything happens, like a zipper break or all that, because
great.
They're my favorite. They're like,
if Duluth Trading would like to sponsor this podcast.
I will only wear your clothes. I already do. So like, I got you. Yeah.
Wow.
So I just came in and I was like, hey, I got these as a gift. Like I noticed there's like 30% off, because every time you go in the store, it's like 30% off everything. So I was like, hey, can I, get a little price check on this? And
Good
they
for you,
gave me,
Sarah.
it was a $53 or $54 gift card that I got. I know.
Wow.
I still have money left over to
welcome.
get a pair of, I know. Isn't that great? So thank you so much for my new sun shirt. That's my little update for everybody. So I don't know why. I'm just in a good mood. And everything's coming up, Sarah.
It is coming up, Sarah, because guess what? Sarah was in a relationship with a complete jerk, and he is trying to silence me, and I say, go fuck yourself. And if anyone would like to know anything about Sarah's relationship, just DM me, because I am here to share. And guess what?
I said I can't control what other people say. I am here to.
No, she can't. She
say,
can't control what I say. It is my lived experience because I'm a witness to the nonsense.
Yeah.
And guess what? If you don't like it, don't date a podcaster, dumbass. You were on reality TV. You can't even pretend like you don't know what this is all about.
All right.
Fool.
That tends to be the thing that happens, is like everybody's so excited about me talking about them and putting them on the show, and they come on, be a guest, take picture, do the whole thing, and then as soon as they're not in a relationship, they're like, "Whoa, don't say anything, don't post anything." It's like, that's not really how that works.
Yeah, they want a hype person. That's what they want. They want a cheerleader, and Sarah's real good at doing that until you treat her like garbage. And I'm never good at that. So guess what? You barked up the wrong tree, dum-dum. Come at me.
I love Fired Up Susie.
I am so mad. Because you know why?
Yeah.
I have known you forever, but I've worked with you for almost a decade.
Yeah.
I know you better than anybody, I feel like.
That is 100% true.
Yeah.
Yes.
The thought that someone could mistreat you is despicable.
Aww.
Because every person has strengths and weaknesses. We all have our shit. We all have our quirks and all that. But Sarah is fundamentally good. Oh, I'm going to cry.
Oh my God, Susie. Now I'm going to cry.
We did it, everyone. She's decent. She's kind. She's caring. And she's never, ever malicious.
Am I lucky or what to have a friend like Susie? I mean,
after all these years, that's what gets me. Because it's not okay. I'll probably edit this out. Anyway.
No, absolutely not. God,
she's
I love you so much.
She's going to email Andrea and be like, I forbid. And then I'll be mad at Sarah, and then we'll break up, and I'll be like, you know what, Eli wasn't so bad. No, I'm just kidding. Full circle. No, it does. It really makes me mad when, like, the underdog is shit upon, and it happens to really kind people a lot, and it really makes me upset.
Oh, thanks, Suze. Well, that is
ain't
so
right.
sweet to feel supported by you. Well, I am working hard to be better at recognizing people who are able to give me the kind of love that I am giving to them. And I've done a really good job of that with the friends that I have. But now I need to do the same thing with the partners that I have. So,
yeah, they're tricky though. Those the reality people, that type.
Yeah.
The attention seeking. They're usually very charming. They're usually fun.
Yeah.
And then it takes a minute to see like the dark underbelly of it.
Yeah.
That can be there.
And then my therapist was talking about how, like, looking at like the men and what they all have in common. And she's like, if you are letting straight white males judge you and tell you what's good for your life,
yeah,
let's start. You're always going to feel like you're not enough. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, yeah. Like,
it's so disturbing.
Shit, that's right.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And then she was like, what do you think these guys see in you? And I'm like, well, I'm fun. I'm easygoing, da-da-da. And like, you don't have to take care of me. And she's like, that's it. She's like, there it is. And I was like, fuck.
Totally
and I was saying it.
self-sufficient.
And I was saying it like this is yep. And then and then like listing all these things. And I go, and I don't need to be taken care of. And she goes, that's it. You're teaching them that you do not need them to take care of you, and then you need them to take care of you, and they can't. And I was like, "Fuck, Sherry, you just
Sherry
blew up my shit." Like when the therapist like says something, and you're like, "Oh fuck, now I have to think about that for the next month."
Yeah. Well, because
that thing that I wear is like a badge of honor. Like, look at me. You don't need to take care of me. And then she's like, is that even true? Like, and I'm like, no, it's not true because we all need to be taken care of. We are social creatures. We are designed for connection and for companionship. That is like it. So every person needs to be taken care of and needs somebody to be able to help them sometimes. Like, that's a very important thing in relationships. And if you're not open to that or showing people that you need that, then you're going to get people who don't want to do that for you.
Well, and it's so awesome that you are self-sufficient and independent and can take care of yourself no matter what on your own. But that doesn't give somebody a green light to, number one, depend on you excessively,
right,
and also to neglect you.
Yeah,
particularly after a surgery when you would love a sandwich. And I'm sorry if he thinks that this is not my business. Guess when it became my business?
Yeah,
when I received a from his telling me to send to Sarah because he didn't want to for 2 weeks. And I'll edit this out if you want me to. But I'm just saying, that's when it became my business. What if we just did like a long beep over that?
Yeah. That would actually be really funny. Like, go to the video version.
And then I'm sorry, but if you rope me into your dysfunction,
right,
I can now share my opinion. So,
yes. Yeah.
Good luck to you. Anywho, I love Sarah.
Oh,
we all
I love
Sarah. And I don't like people that take advantage of really kind people like Sarah and my husband Adam and all kinds of really sweet, lovely people. Okay.
Oh, we're so lucky to have you.
Well, I know what we're both so lucky to have, and that is Lola V. Am I right or am I right?
Oh my gosh. I am so grateful for that detangling glossing spray.
Yeah.
Or glossing detangling spray, whichever, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And how is that brush so good at detangling my hair?
The wet brush.
Yes.
It's a godsend.
Oh,
their products are top notch. I was very skeptical. I was like, okay, great. Another celebrity product that bites the big one.
Right.
And boy, was I wrong. I should have never doubted Miss Aniston. She's a goddess. And
not only are the products great, but one of my favorite things, they look really good in my
Chic.
shower. Like that. I don't
It's
want
like rich
everything
lady
different colors.
products.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want everything different colors. It matches. It's like black and white. It's so chic. And it performs,
nice.
which is my favorite thing.
This was the first time, you know how like I always say when I go on a trip, I just use the hotel shampoo.
I hate
and
when
you
you
were
say
always
that.
like, you were always appalled. I did not do that this time because
Good.
now I know the difference that it makes. And
Thank you.
Lolavi is my salvation. It's so great for like summer hair too, like all the chlorine, the sun, all that stuff is so hard on your hair. So this stuff is going to help you keep your head of hair healthy. Check out all Lolavi products at your local Ulta Beauty location to experience the luxurious scent for yourself, or head directly to their website at lolavi.com. As our loyal listeners, you get an exclusive 15% off your entire order when you use code BRAIN at checkout. That's 15% off your order at LOLAVIE.com with promo code BRAIN. Please note you can only use one promo code per order, and discounts can't be combined. After you purchase the less you heard about them, please support our show and tell them we sent you. Your hair will thank you, and so will I. Anywho, I watched a documentary on Disney Plus. Is the Jim Henson Idea Man.
Oh my gosh, I've been dying. I didn't know it came out. Oh, I
Yeah.
might have to borrow your Disney Plus account.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
You
so
will love
excited.
it.
I'm so excited.
The
Muppets are great.
I highly recommend taking an edible and watching it.
What? Is this my favorite episode we've ever done?
Right. Susie cried. She
I-
said nice things about Sarah.
And she's
talked about the
encouraging edibles. What? This is... Guys, if anybody wonders why I just am never going to quit this and do this forever, this is great.
Yeah. I'm speaking your language.
Yeah.
I just think, that the sort of, pardon the pun, but the gonzo sense of humor that the Muppets have and that Jim Henson clearly had, it is perfect for a little wacky tobacco.
Yes.
But
I know my
whether
plans this evening.
Yeah, like if you're sober or not, it's great. I am sort of obsessed with this idea of, you know how I always say, like, nobody should get a statue. Like, we're all people.
Yeah.
We're all flawed. And some of us have these incredible contributions to culture or technology or whatever. But we're all limited by the fundamental foibles of being a human, number one.
I love that word, foibles, in my top 10.
And
Go ahead.
the limitations of time. And so, like, there's no superhuman person that can overcome those things. And so if you're Steve Jobs and you're creating the iPhone, you're probably going to be a shitty dad, right?
Right. 100%. That you can't, yes. Yeah.
And we sort of are fine with that with the tech bros because they're tech bros. And they probably wouldn't be great dads anyway because they're kind of different.
Computers.
They think different. That's the motto anyway, right?
Yeah.
Is that Apple?
Yes.
Right? Think different.
That is so true.
But when you're the guy that creates the Muppets, I think there's this higher bar where we
Same
think
with
you
Mr.
love
Rogers
kids.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
You love kids. You're a family guy. And maybe you are in your heart, but there are still the limits of a 24-hour day.
Yeah.
And that was what I took away from it, is just how you can't do it all.
You know, this is the same feeling that I think a lot of people who have parents that are therapists or parents who are doctors, parents who are in a field that's like
Pastors.
yeah, where they feel like, wow, the kids can often feel like you're given all of that love and attention and everything, like showing up for everybody else. And sometimes it can feel like they're not doing that in their own home because the attention is just, the scale, it looks
What do you
imbalanced.
think is like, I guess I want to like grapple with the idea of, is that okay? Like, can there be a contribution great enough? Like, if you cured cancer, I'd be like, okay, your kids could take a backseat.
Right.
You make the Muppets. I mean, I love them.
Right.
But is that enough?
And it becomes hard so as somebody who can't have biological children, I've talked with my therapist a lot and I've done my own work on like how to find meaning in your life. And we talked about how people who don't have children, they have to find that meaning. That's what children can provide, is they provide that meaning. And so I think it becomes difficult when somebody has something where they get significant meaning outside
and
of
they
that.
have kids.
Yes.
Is that what you? Oh,
Yes.
that's interesting.
Where you're trying to do.
What good are you, bozos?
I mean,
I already have meaning, dipshits.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Like,
Yep, that's an interesting idea I hadn't thought of.
So
okay,
it feels
let me
like,
provide some
and
context.
you'd probably get more, like positive
external
feedback.
validation.
Yes, external validation. That is what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
that's it. The external
'cause
validation
these kids are
from
ingrates.
the large group, and you don't. It's almost like it's kind of like when. And Lincoln's a hard example because he's like, whatever, Sarah. But like you have those like friends who have kids and you go over to their house and like the kids will not listen to the parent, but then the friend goes, hey, go sit down. And then they listen.
That's how we know you're like family.
Yeah, because Lincoln's like, shut up, Sarah.
Okay, Sarah.
Oh, okay, right. He's like, you go do it. You're not doing it. I'm like, okay, fine. He's fucking right.
You're so right.
So I think it's like that, or some kids like, I have other friends where if like, they're like, why is Sarah the authority and I'm not, and it feels like that where like somebody who's not your parent can then deliver that information in a way, even like as a therapist, I'll say like when I'm working with couples or something. And then like one of the partners will be like, I've been saying that for years.
Yeah.
And like you say it in a different way that they can hear. And so I could imagine the frustration from anybody in their family when this is going on. Interesting.
This is why though documentaries are so great though, because I love the Muppets. I've read a book about Jim Henson, and yet I did not realize that his wife, Jane, she liked to joke that she discovered him because he was a puppeteer, but like he's an artist. Like I feel like that's his vibe, is just like art above all. And she kind of wrangled it, and he then was able to become Jim Henson. Yeah. And she owned 40% of Jim Henson Productions.
Nice.
Like
smart
they
lady.
founded it together.
Good job.
And then they agreed on 60-40 because he was more of like the face and whatever. Okay, but she owned 40%. That is not a small amount.
Right.
Then they get married and she starts having babies. And he basically was like, you're done. Like you raise the kids. And she didn't, it's not like she wanted that. She wanted to be creatively involved.
Of course.
And he basically edged her
She
out.
had meaning doing that stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah. And she didn't really believe in divorce. So she just was like, all right. And they had 5 kids.
Shit.
And he was never home. I mean, the documentary was very honest about the fact that this guy was like basically absentee. And he loved them and was caring, but he was just not there.
Right.
Eventually, it comes to a head, and there's I don't want to like ruin it if you're going to watch it, but I mean, she eventually has to say like, this ain't it.
Yeah.
And I think that that's notable that she is 40% owner and yet silenced, and he becomes the icon.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Jim Henson.
I didn't even know that there was anybody else involved. And
I never heard of her.
Never.
And that is a real bummer. But another interesting part about it is that he grew up Christian Scientist. And if you're not familiar, those are the folks who eschew any kind of medical intervention whatsoever. So if you get sick, you do not go to a doctor. Yeah. He did not embrace that religion. But I think like when you grow up, as I know from growing up the way I did, it never really leaves you. And so like he was fine with physicians, but that was like not his first action. Yeah. And that he died at 53 from strep throat.
Stop it!
Because it became infected, and then
Holy shit. That is a lesson that strep throat is not to be fucked with.
I
You have to
know.
go-
I have a friend who died from it.
Stop it. Oh my God.
Yeah. Like if you have a
Susie?
sore throat, get the heck to the doctor. Just have him swab
that
it.
that is good to know because I'm like that. No, I don't need to go to the doctor person.
You are like that.
I can't.
Remember when you were at my house and you're like, I don't feel good. Do you think I should take a COVID test? And I'm like, why not? What is the downside of this story? But you're just sort of like, it's the same reason you're getting mistreated because you're like, why would I pay attention to my own?
Right, I'm fine.
Comfort.
I'll be okay. And my mom, it's funny because one time my grandma was staying at my house and she was probably 95 when this happened. And I go in the bathroom and I see like a bar of soap and her toothbrush.
Oh, I hate this story so much.
And I'm like, Grandma, what is this? And she goes, I couldn't find toothpaste, so I brushed my teeth with soap because she did not want to bother me to ask for toothpaste and did that instead. And that's become like the story in our family of like how women do not take care of themselves. And we are more willing to brush our teeth with wash our own mouth out with soap, which is like a punishment, than to ask for something that is so basic.
Yes. And
so dumb.
If you grow up in that environment, then it would seem like, it's just a sore throat, whatever. So. Well, I don't know if it can help with a sore throat. Probably not. But I'll tell you what, mixers, I don't know if you're familiar. Well, I know you are because you follow Modern Dad too.
I sure do.
And Modern Dad is a mixers loyalist. But this is a nutritional supplement that can help you balance your hormones. So you put it in your water and
give it to me right now.
Sarah wants to mainline it.
I was so excited when I heard that this was our new sponsor because your gal needs all the help she can get.
We all do.
I mean,
for real. From first period to first hot flash.
Oh, yes.
Whatever stage you're at, it will help you naturally balance your hormones. And that's what we're all looking to do. And it's so hard to do because our bodies are always changing. They have tons of products to support women's wellness, pre and postnatal. They have menopause support, libido booster if you're not feeling the love, all that stuff. It's a great supplement for every woman on earth. Produced with 100% natural ingredients, no artificial stuff, and they're all gluten-free. Join the thousands of women who have discovered feel-good freedom through balanced hormones. Head to mixers.com/braincandy. Use promo code braincandy at checkout for an additional 10% off your order. Mixers rarely gives discounts, so 10% off is the best offer you're going to find. Remember to use our promo code braincandy for an additional 10% off. What a treat. I love this stuff. Ladies.
Yes.
Hello. Anyway.
Yeah.
The footage of his funeral is not to be missed.
Oh.
It is incredible. Like, because he directed it from the great beyond. He put it in his will. Like, here's what you're going to do. Nobody's wearing black.
Yeah. Oh, good.
This is going to be.
That's great.
Like, and it was moving as heck. And I don't know how anyone got through that because anybody that touches your life as a child.
Right.
It's like sacred.
I was inconsolable in the Mr. Rogers documentary. When I saw that in the theater, I was like, this was a mistake. This was a mistake. I was like, like it's just, I love this man. Yeah.
A child again or something.
Yes.
But
oh my God.
Do you have a favorite Muppet?
I think Animal, probably.
Oh my God, he is so funny.
I like Animal, but I also have to say, Staten and Waldorf. Like,
right.
I love their commentary. I think it's just the best. It's hard to choose a favorite. It's kind of like when I watch Modern Family or one of those shows where I'm like, it changes, and I'll be like, who's your favorite
Friends
this
is
week?
like that for me.
Yeah. Or there's it's just like different times. You know, when you were saying we shouldn't make statues of anybody, Kermit the Frog might be my exception.
Yeah, well, because he's not a person.
Right. I'm fine with
that.
a Kermit the Frog statue, Big Bird statue. Let's run it.
That's another reason you'll love the documentary, though, because Jim Henson was the voice of Kermit. And
what? I didn't know that.
Just his voice. And so every interview with him, you're like, that's Kermit.
Yeah.
And it's just the whole time you're like, how did anyone think about anything but Kermit when he would talk?
Oh my God.
You'll love it.
I can't wait. Yes.
What I think an underrated Muppet though is Fozzie Bear.
Absolutely.
He is
Oh,
a
Waka
hoot.
Waka.
They showed this clip from the Muppet movie when like the windshield wipers are going.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey Kermit, look at the windshield wipers. Look how they go back and forth, back and forth. And then he's like, I think I'm going to throw up. And I'm like, that's Sarah. I'm attracted to that.
Yeah.
Like just sort
That
of
is me. Yep. Yeah. I have to watch. I really want to watch the Muppets TV show. They did the Muppets TV show that has more adult humor. Like there's a scene where I can't remember the actress's name, but she brings Fozzie Bear home like as her date. Mm-hmm. And this made the rounds again after the whole man versus bear in the woods thing. And she's like, and like, it's just so funny, the scene where she's explaining to her parents, like, well, he's just a bear and I love him, Dad, you know?
That's the thing is that Jim Henson, he loved the Muppets and everything, but really he was like artist first. And so like, that was just a part of his humor. And I think he really craved being able to do different things that weren't so like PG or whatever. Yeah. And so he was always pushing the boundaries with his other projects and they just never worked as well. I think that bothered him. But hey, you made something incredible that changed the world.
Yeah. He was behind Fraggle Rock too, right?
Yeah, Fraggle Rock.
That was my favorite.
He had some he did The Labyrinth with David Bowie.
Oh my. I just saw a post online that said like something about like the gay agenda doesn't make you gay. Watching The Labyrinth as a child makes you gay. And ain't that the truth? Because I watched that and I was like,
there's a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah. Like, yeah. I definitely. Yes, totally. And it's like, if you know all the words to that song, then chances are good you're bisexual.
Okay, moving on. Let's see, what's next on my agenda? Oh, I guess I just wanted to know your opinion on something controversial.
Oh, I love giving my opinion on controversial things.
Okay, did you see that Louisiana passed the legislation that allows for the option of legal castration for predators by like a judge?
Uh-huh.
So if you're convicted of being a pedophile, the judge can choose to require chemical or surgical castration. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to know, like, your opinion, like, what, like, because I imagine what people would have the same reaction to the headline that I did, which is like, yeah, all right,
yeah,
you know, because it's like,
right,
kind of great. You want to, like, you want these guys to suffer. Mm-hmm. But then once you get past that like initial instinct or impulse, you think like, okay, to what end or what is the purpose? Does it help? Why are we doing that? From the article, it seems that the motivation is just punishment. It's not necessarily that it's going to change them or help or prevent
I have heard of situations where the perpetrator themselves
wants
it. Yeah. And they have these urges that they are fighting against. There is no amount of therapy or whatever that's going to change those. Yeah. And they're like, I don't want to be that person. And so I am like, yeah, do that. Go for it. If they see that this is something that they can't, you know. Yeah.
The chemical castration, and I'm sure the surgical, it lowers your
testosterone
urge and libido.
Yeah. Yes.
And so I suppose that can help if you feel like this guy where it's like, I can't stop. I'm like compulsive or something.
Yeah.
But beyond that, it feels just like something that we want to do because we're so mad.
Right. That, yeah. And that I'm not about. But I do recognize, like, if somebody is a repeat offender who is not stopping, has multiple victims, is like, I don't know what else you can do to protect people, you know?
Yeah. I'll give you an example from the men that I write letters to, the prisoners.
Yeah.
This is not a pedophile, but this person was a murderer. And his letters, no matter what my letter said, his letter was just like demented, sick, details of what he'd done.
Susie.
He would just like write them pages and pages. And I even asked him, like, do you enjoy just sharing, like reliving it?
Yeah,
and
that's
he
like
admitted it.
Yeah.
But I think there are a very small number of people for whom it's almost like they're not even human. Like they are just in another sick world that I do not understand.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that's what you're describing, where if there's somebody who like cannot control.
Yeah. Right.
But is that any different from like, I mean, it is different from like a lobotomy, you know, what they used to do to special people with intellectual disabilities. Yeah. Like the Kennedy daughter.
Yeah. But
it's almost like, are we really accomplishing anything here?
I think we have more information about the effects of chemical castration versus the effects of a lobotomy. We know what's going to happen. We know what
you don't become like a non-person like a lobotomy.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
You know.
I'm not losing sleep over it. Right. I'm just saying that like, I don't know because this is very much a conservative driven legislation, but I'm sure there's plenty of people on both sides who are like, yeah, fuck those guys.
Yeah. And I definitely think that they should have the option of doing it, like having that as a choice.
I said to Adam too, like, we better be pretty sure that they're actually guilty because we put people to death who didn't actually commit the crime. So that's
and then we like convince people that they did something and then they end up like confessing and they didn't even do it because we like, come on, we see this all the time. So it's just like, it's that.
Irreversible things I'm not really.
Right. Oh, God, please tell me about it.
Anyway.
Right.
I just thought I'd lighten the mood with some castration talk. Okay. Let me see here. Okay. Next on my agenda. Mm-hmm. Did you happen to see, I think it was in LA Times, so you may have, this lady went to Pismo Beach in California with her family.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
And they were doing the old classic, like, collecting seashells. And the kids didn't know which was which, but they accidentally took a bunch of clams.
Uh-oh.
You know, like...
Yeah.
They look like seashells, but they're not half. They're a whole.
Yeah.
And so, like, she went to leave, and they issued her, like, I guess the municipality.
Yeah.
A bill, a fine, because, like, you have to pay if you take clams.
Right.
And it's not optional. Because they had removed them from the beach, and then they're, like, destroyed. She was charged $88,000.
Oh my God. I've gotten away with murder.
You've taken clams?
Well, I as a child, I definitely collected things that were not. Listen, I have since changed my ways. I recently went to REI. I am leave no trace. Like I'm not picking flowers. I'm not taking rocks. I'm not doing it. I am not disturbing the wildlife. I am like,
she's like a ghost.
Yep. Only thing I do is pick up trash. That's it. I get it. I'm not going to be that person anymore. So don't worry about me. But I have a past.
Sarah has a dark past.
I have a dark past
of clam collecting.
Yeah, of just I mean, so many animals.
You could have been hit with this bill.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I got off like, whew,
yeah,
$88,000. What is she gonna do?
Sarah's a fugitive right now. Okay.
I am.
So don't you feel terrible for this lady?
Yes.
Like she's on this vacation and like she doesn't know. And she said that it's not like there's signs everywhere. It's probably on that one board, like when you walk into the beach.
Right. That also said like tsunami warning, and you're like, I'm not gonna look at that.
Yeah, like who's reading the fine print at Pismo Beach?
Right.
Okay.
I think I've actually taken shells from Pismo Beach before. Like that.
You're probably the reason they have a sign.
Yeah. I'm not kidding.
Like after Sarah looted Pismo Beach, they had to crack down on clam collecting.
That's probably it.
Okay. I was feeling so bad for her until I read the following quote.
I love when it's like, oh no, and then it's like, oh, okay.
Because let me tell you, if Lincoln did something for which I got an $88,000 bill, heads would roll. Like it's beyond.
Right. And I also think it's important to say it's not... Pismo Beach is an area where they have an actual beach called Shell Beach. Yeah. So it's like, that is the attraction.
Like
and then you're like,
yeah. It's like,
this is like, and then if you go to all of the stores in Pismo Beach, they have those souvenirs and stuff that are made out of shells.
Yeah, like all the frames.
Yes,
and
they're all like, this place is cut. The whole thing. They're like up to here with shells. They're like, please take our shells, and like, for real.
It's like this is entrapment, is what it is.
It's kind of what it feels like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I felt sorry for her until she said the following.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to tell you what I would do.
Okay.
How I would feel. Like that's a life ruiner. $88,000.
Please.
Okay. She said, it made me really sad and depressed, and it kind of ruined our trip. What? Ma'am?
That tells me that she's got $88,000 to spend.
It sure does.
She's a fancy lady. And this is like Central California, coastal, right by Santa Barbara. She's probably one of those Sausalito gals who now, if she's like a coastal elite grandmother, like what do they call that?
Coastal elite.
Yeah.
Right.
What do they call that? What is the name? The grandma, that's like Diane Keaton style.
Coastal grandma. Right?
Yeah, coastal grandma. Like if she's like that, like coastal, like housewife or whatever, then I'm like, okay, give her the bill.
Okay. I mean, she did fight the law, and the law didn't win because they did give her
good
a deduction. They deducted it from $88,000 to $500.
Oh. Well, that seems a little more reasonable.
Okay, but do you think that's why she worded it like that? Because now it's like water under the... Okay, it's $500.
Yes, I do.
So if she still had to pay the 88, she would have a different quote.
Totally. Okay. Yeah, I definitely do. And that seems ridiculous because, like, I feel like the fines at the airport when you, like, bring in stuff
like
that's
apples from Bermuda or something. Yeah.
Those are less. That can like endanger the entire ecosystem of the fucking country. And this lady just wants to like take, or her kids just took some shell. That doesn't seem like the punishment fits the crime. Or what I think they should do. No, they didn't. With her paying the fine. No, they fucking didn't, lady. Trust me, they didn't. They need 100 hours of community service to go clean beaches.
She does. They're children. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You have to tell them.
I think they should be involved too.
What?
Just like, family beach cleanup. Then they'll learn their lesson.
Listen, as somebody born, like born into lottery sucks.
Yeah. This is true.
You cannot punish these kids for their dumbass white coastal elite mob. Oh gosh, they're all innocent victims in this. They just want to seashells for Pete's sake. And really what they should want is mosh bars because they are delicious and nutritious.
Yep. I've been chowing down every morning almost. They're my breakfast. Yeah, those lemon ones. They're great. I'm like been a lady on the go recently. I
sure
need
have.
something. I need like
because of your dumb boyfriend. Anyway,
like,
I love like I can put that into a mosh bar spot.
yeah. Oh.
Mosh bars have 12 grams of protein. That is great.
Yep.
And they support brain health. They have ashwagandha, lion's mane, collagen, the omega-3s, all the good stuff. As soon as I get through my 5 dozen eggs, I'm going back on the mosh bars. They also have a line of plant-based protein, which the Pump Club, also a Schwarzenegger endeavor, told me is great. Like plant-based, great for protein. Patrick Schwarzenegger, you are my second favorite Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you want to find ways to give back, as they do, because they donate to women's health research and Alzheimer.
And we need that.
You can fuel your body and your brain. Mosh bars are the perfect choice for you. Head to moshlife.com/braincandy to save 20% off, plus free shipping on either the bestsellers trial pack or the new plant-based trial pack. That's 20% off, plus free shipping on either the bestsellers or plant-based trial pack at moshlife.com/braincandy. Thank you, Mosh, for sponsoring this episode.
Yes. And thank you, listeners, for using our codes. And, you know, it's like, I feel like so many of us buy like power bars and those kind of bars, like, you know, just like a one-off at the grocery store here and there. Like, if you're going to get him to sponsor your favorite
you're
podcast.
getting him anyway. Help us. What if we go out of business and then Sarah's like having to date some other loser?
Oh my God.
Just
Susie.
to make ends meet.
Sell my organs before that. The ones I have left.
Still use our codes. Okay. So
how many organs can they remove from the human body? Like,
good question.
No reproductive organs. I could get my appendix taken out. I could live just fine without that. I can lose a gallbladder. I can lose a kidney because I got 2 of those. I can lose a portion of my liver.
Tonsils?
I don't have any tonsils.
She's an empty vessel.
I am like getting rid of part. Like it's like a flash sale over here. Everything must go.
Like, I don't mean weight-wise, but just like...
No, I do feel the feeling of emptiness in my... And that's a real thing. Like, that I looked it up, and that's an actual thing. That it feels like... Hollow. I can't describe... It feels just like... It feels like my bladder is very lonely in there. Like, It's just like... Could you imagine? He's got all his friends there, and then all of a sudden, they're like... He's like, where'd everybody go? And he's just
like
by himself.
Cavernous? Like, if you went in and you'd be like, hello.
Not as much cavernous as just like, maybe like just like less crowded. Like you just like you took the big furniture out of a room and there's still stuff in it. Minimalist. Yeah, it's minimalist.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, but there's definitely a few. And I think maybe the feeling of emptiness is not really because I feel like there's nothing there. I think it's just that there's no pain consistent. Like I don't have an awareness because I used to always remember when I would just be like, oh, I got a pinch, I got a little pain, and you're like, what do you mean? I remember that time one time you're like, that's not a thing.
She would claim, and I think she really was right, that she knew the moment that her egg, like whatever happens, and then it falls, and then you start like ovulation, and you'd be like, oh, I just ovulated. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I knew everything that was going on in there. So now I just feel like there's not action
the void
happening
of
in
that.
there, and it's like, oh, there's not stuff going on, you know.
I love how pain was like how you knew you were alive.
Yeah, and Susie still haven't bit my nails. It's been almost like 6 months, 5 months. I'm telling you, that was
wow.
Yeah.
You know who should be biting his nails? I'll stop. Okay. I have so much more to cover. So
okay.
I don't know what to do here. Did you happen to see, this is total nonsense silliness, but
it's my favorite.
There was a viral TikTok that I'm in love with where this guy noticed that on SNL, there's this, in the band, you know, in the background on stage, the SNL band, there's this lady that plays bongos, and her name is Valerie Dee Narenjo. And she has been in this fucking band since 1995. And he looked through the archives as deep as he could get. I think it was like 2005 was like the earliest. For some reason, so the guest comes out on each episode and she's playing her bongos and it's great. And then the audience starts clapping for the host, and then they cut to the audience. And then when they come back, the bongo player is then off on like the side of the stage, like by the curtain, like you can barely see her. She's moved away. The rest of the band is all still on stage and visible on camera. But Valerie Dee Narenjo is the bongo player. She is like relegated to like off stage. And so he created this whole TikTok about justice for Valerie Dee Narenjo. And now, like, why are they forcing her to like get off stage?
Yeah.
And so there's like all these theories. Like, does she laugh too loud? Like, what could it possibly be?
What is
for
it?
decades?
Huh.
Every episode, it's a riot. And it's funnily enough, like I, unbeknownst to me, am logged in on my computer to your TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Because you know how you like will apply for like whatever. And so when I watched that, I watched it on yours. And I was like, I wonder if she's going to start getting like Valerie Dee Narenjo,
probably.
like justice TikToks fed to her. But like, I just want to know what could possibly be the reason that Lorne Michaels is forcing her off stage every week for decades.
I don't even have a good theory.
It makes no sense.
Let's think. So she's out there. She's out there playing her bongos, and then as soon as the guest comes out,
she's still there bongoing.
Yeah.
And then they cut to the audience clapping. They come back, gone.
Okay. Ooh, every theory I have, it doesn't make sense. So my wonder is like maybe she has another job there that she does as well, that she's like bongos for the intro and then she goes and has to do some other role.
She's
like
a Renaissance woman.
What if she was actually just like a editor or producer and loves playing the bongos and was like, I'm going to go out and I'm boop, 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 and then I'll be right back.
That's my favorite theory ever.
It's going to be something
she just
ridiculous.
Has bongos like on the side occasionally.
Okay. Like it would be like if I
for 30 years.
If in the intro music there was like a ukulele part that was necessary, and then like I would like play in the intro music, and then I go put it down, and then I come out and host, and be the like. And you'd be like, you wouldn't be like, whoa, where'd she go? She's not, but so.
I think we need to have Valerie on this show.
Yeah.
I don't think she's.
What if she has because there's no way. It's like, what if she got a really crazy laugh?
Maybe she has like a disability where she has to sit or something, but she looks like she's standing on the side of the stage.
And I know those things like that happen. I went to an opera a little while ago. And there was, I noticed this woman. I had a view where I could see right into the orchestra. And I noticed there was a woman who was playing the clarinet, I think it was. And she was there in the beginning. And then in the next time the lights came up and I was able to see her, she was sitting there and she was just holding it and she wasn't playing. And I then became obsessed. And now I have no idea what's happening in the opera, and I'm only watching this woman. And I'm like,
fan fiction.
What is happening? Yeah, I'm writing a whole story. I'm like, why isn't she playing? Everybody else is playing. She doesn't look like she's struggling with something. It's not like they're.
Ooh, that
and
is
then
interesting.
Next time there's like the lights go down, or whatever, she's gone. And I'm like, where did the clarinet lady go? I need to know. I was obsessed. I was like, what? I thought I went through, maybe something happened with her instrument. It broke. She couldn't leave the stage at that time because she didn't want to be a distraction. But I had to know. Then the rest of the show, I was just creating the story in my mind. So I can see as somebody watching SNL, you notice this little thing. It's like definitely a neurodivergent person who's doing this.
Yeah, like where'd the bongo lady go?
Yeah, and like, well, something's
and then
different.
you look through archives.
Yeah,
for 20 years.
Yes, this makes sense. I could see myself doing that. 100%.
All right, justice for Valerie Dee Narenjo.
Yeah, and you know how when I come to your house, I'm always like, this is new or this is missing. And you're like, how do you take an inventory of how do you know when like you can move it 1 inch? And I'm like, that's different. And I think it's probably something like that. Like he's like, something's different. And then has to make a whole thing about it.
Yeah, they need answers.
Yeah, I get this. Game recognized game.
Okay, next up. How about, this is funny. A Brainiac sent this to me. Sarah's had some run-ins with her like HOA before, the neighborhood where, she was chastised about some dog poop that she claims was not hers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was that. Susie, I don't claim it was not mine. Please. It was not mine.
It wasn't Sarah's or her dog's. She wasn't even in town. You were away.
I was away.
Okay. Yeah, so she had that, and then there was the incident where they were mad at where you were storing your garbage cans.
Yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Okay. So, these neighborhood groups they mean well.
Right.
They want to have order. And me, Dwight Schrute over here, I love order. I love a rule that everyone has to go by within the society.
Michael!
But this guy had a house, and then in his driveway, you ever see one of those houses where in the driveway they park their boat?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know exactly the story you're going to tell.
Did you see it?
I love this. Yeah. Go.
How did you not bring this up? This is right up your alley.
Susie, it's on my list of things to talk about. I just haven't gotten it. No. It's great. I would have forgotten about it. It's buried. It's like now I saw this weeks ago. Yes.
Okay.
Go, talk. This is so funny. And I just love knowing that there's going to be the picture when we do the clip of this, that there'll be the image. Insert it right here. Okay.
Right. So, the neighborhood group was like, this is an eyesore. This is not allowed. There are strict rules, and you cannot park your boat in the driveway that's visible from the street. It's rude.
I also think it's important to note that this guy's house is not a hoarder's home. This is not a situation. This is a lovely, it's so well manicured. The what are they? Curb appeal. It looks really nice. It's important to say that this isn't one of those people who's like causing.
And it isn't even one of those things like when people go crazy with Christmas lights and then they get in trouble.
Right. This is not that.
It's fun, but like you took it too far.
Right.
It wasn't like that. It was just, it must be in the bylaws. You can't have the boat visible or something. Yeah. So he did a Susie special where if you're going to go letter of the law, then I'm going to go letter of the law in the response. So he got a fence put up as they requested that blocked the street from being able to see the boat. But then he did a delicious devil move where he hired this artist who draws like realistic landscapes and stuff to, on the fence, draw a rendering of the boat that looks like you can see the boat still.
Yep.
In his driveway, but it's like an optical illusion.
It's so good because nowhere in that HOA bylines did they say anything about how you had to paint the fence. They did not say that the fence had to be this specific color, this had to be that. They didn't say anything about that. So like, okay, I'm going to follow all the rules too. I'm going to paint my fence just like I want. I'm going to put a fence up just like you want. That is the best.
Okay, I was wondering.
Suck it, HOA.
Yes.
I love that story.
Because we're spirit of the law people.
Yes.
Like,
come on.
You don't want your neighborhood to look trashy. I get that. Neither do I.
Right.
Neither does this guy with the boat. Mm-hmm. But if you're just going to nitpick, well then, you're asking
And
for it.
I would take a poll of everybody in that neighborhood and say, does this boat bother any of you?
The neighbors love this fence. Exactly. They think it's hilarious.
Right. That's the thing. It's like the neighbors don't care. It's like that one fucking lady. And she deserves everything she's getting. And I know who it is. I mean, not actually, but like
BTK.
we all know. Yeah. Oh.
You know those
Oh my God, you're right, Suze.
Mhm.
Okay, for those
the
who maybe have not
murderer.
do not know this, Susie, as she talked about previously in this episode, did her penitentiary pals with pen pals with murderers, and one of them was BTK,
Yeah.
and he was
He
the guy who
worked
ran the
for
HOA.
Yeah, it was like, I forget his actual job title. It wasn't an HOA, but it was like the municipality's like
Yeah, he's like measuring the fucking
enforcement
grass,
officer.
like
Yeah, make sure people are in compliance with whatever your dumb rules are about grass or whatever. And he was like one of these people that's like Dwight Schrute.
Yeah,
You got to follow the rules. And then it turns out he's murdering people.
right.
So I think that is often the case where it's
Check
like
your own
projection.
backyard before you go
Yeah.
looking at other people's.
Sir.
Yeah. Oh, so good though. I just love that story.
Oh, that was a good one. Thanks to the Brainiac for alerting us. I guess that's it for now. I did just briefly, I watched the Disney Plus Beach Boys documentary.
Oh, yeah. How'd you like that?
Well, it was really, I mean, I love all of them with all my heart. It's ridiculous. And I get very emotional. But what I thought was really special about this one was that I don't know if you're familiar with Beach Boy lore, but there are 3 brothers and a cousin and then a friend. And Brian Wilson is proclaimed as the genius. And Mike Love, he wrote most of the lyrics. And so they had it was sort of like Lennon McCartney. It was like Wilson and Love. They got all the songwriting stuff. And Brian Wilson's dad was their manager for a while, and he sold the licensing of these songs. He sold the rights away. And he did so without crediting Mike, the lyricist, Mike Love. And so famously, I don't know, 10, maybe more years ago, Mike Love had to sue Brian Wilson to try to recoup some of those losses. And everyone takes Brian Wilson's side because Brian is the genius. He's the musical prodigy. He's just extraordinary. And Mike Love's writing lyrics about surfing and beaches and cars and women. And so people think he's a doofus. And they're all like, fuck you, Mike Love. Leave Brian alone.
Yeah.
And so there's been this rift. And so when I've seen Brian Wilson and his band, and then I've seen Mike Love and the Beach Boys, but he got the rights to the name. And so Brian Wilson just tours with, his own band. They're both phenomenal. I love seeing both of them, but there's been this divide.
Yeah.
And what was beautiful about the documentary was at the end, they went to that beach in, I think, Palisades or Malibu, Paradise Cove.
Oh, yeah, Paradise Cove. I love that beach. That restaurant is so fucking good. Okay.
That's where Sarah stole most of her clams. And
Probably
that's where they took the photos for their first album with the surfboard and that woody car thing. And they all met there and just reminisced and came together. I mean, Brian's not long for this world. I mean, he's not going to be around much longer. And so it's really special to see when you can bury the hatchet and realize
that's good.
The money is one thing, but I still love you. And it's a beautiful thing, redemption.
Yeah.
Because they did contribute so much to music in the world. And
who does John Stamos play with?
He plays with Mike Love and Mike's Beach Boys band, but he loves Brian Wilson. And he talks about God Only Knows as a perfect song, which it is in every way, musically and lyrically. Mike didn't write the lyrics on that one. And it's the perfect song. And he always talks about Brian. So I think he's a neutral party. But
got it. Yeah.
I mean,
just an appreciator.
Mike's the front man. He's the performer and entertainer. Anyway, if you love just music, if you love old music, you would love the documentary because you can see the competition they had with the Beatles and how it made both bands better.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
It's cool. Yeah.
Check that
Thanks
out.
for listening to that. I know it's just me, but it was good and it's special. Thanks as always for listening, subscribing, leaving us nice reviews.
Yeah, I've been reading somebody said something recently on there. Oh, it was like they answered one of our questions. I was reading, now I can't remember what it is.
You're
They
kidding.
answered one of our questions and they were like, "Oh, I'm going to find it right now."
Yeah, find it. We got
Yeah.
nothing but time around here.
Right. And I was like, "Oh, thanks for," in my mind, I'm like, "Oh, I'll share this with Susie. Thanks for saying go to show, look at our reviews." And it was something that we asked a question about. Oh, yes. Somebody said that they started their period when the eclipse happened too. We got more messages like that. That's a thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, but it is anecdotal. I get it. But it does feel like there's something in the vibes.
Yeah, especially if that wasn't when you were supposed to do it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
thanks
love hearing
for
interesting things like that on our reviews.
Yeah.
So. And 5 stars.
Leave a review and 5 stars.
Yeah.
We love you. Thanks, everybody.